Good afternoon, class. Today we are covering reading a ruler or tape measure. I'm going to go over the importance of it and how to do it. So the importance of it. Why measure? Why measure accurately is the main thing. Less mistakes equals saving time equals a finished project on time. And this is super important in the world of construction, right? If we have a job get behind schedule, it can cost the company a lot of time, and that can at times cost people their jobs. So it's very important to keep things accurate. That way there's less mistakes and we finish on time. And now some examples of some measurement mess ups, right? As you can see here, this escalator doesn't go all the way down. Somebody didn't measure that right. So we have stairs and then an escalator. Okay, it looks kind of fun. I'm sure nobody would want to use this bathroom either, right? You see the urinals right next to each other. Somebody did not measure that correctly. Okay, it leads to issues like this. And then the slope on this driveway is just preposterous, right? You see how sloped that is. That's a nightmare for cars going up it. Okay, somebody messed up that measurement. Okay, so now how do we measure accurately, right? Reading a tape measure. What do we start with? Okay, well, first off, we have to identify that we are measuring in inches first. Okay, that is the most common. There are also metric rulers, but you really don't see metric tape measures a whole lot in the U.S. Okay, so reading a tape measure. What do you start with? Right here we have an inch ruler. Okay, you'll know it's an inch ruler because there's 12 lines there. Okay, there's 12 inches in a foot. Okay, everybody knows that. Each foot broken down into inches, and each inch is broken down into 15 smaller increments. Okay? As we see here, okay, the longer line on the surface of the ruler, the bigger the measurement is. Okay? So the big ones, right? Here and here. Okay? Those are inches. Those are the biggest measurement, right? Inches. Next biggest, we have our half inches, right? You can see the big line right here. Okay? After that, we have the quarter inches. Okay? Also included is a half because it's 2 quarters. Okay? Then we have our eighths and our 16ths. Okay? You want to make sure you read the ruler from left to right. Okay? A common problem we see is that people want to start on the left and they want to start that as 1. Okay, we have to think of it like we haven't gained any ground on whatever we're measuring yet. Okay, so that first line has to be 0. Okay, it's 0, not 1. That's a common problem people make. Okay, so the left side of this is where we start. Okay, next you have to learn the inch marks. Okay, right? We have a ruler here, tape measure the same way. A ruler made up of 12 inch marks. These are typically the numbered marks on the ruler and are denoted by the longest lines on the ruler, like I said before. Okay, for example, if you need to measure a nail, place one end directly on the left side, okay, and then on the 0 mark on the ruler, and wherever it ends at, that is your measurement of the nail or whatever you're measuring. Okay? Some rulers will also denote half inches with numbers, so make sure you're using the largest numbers with the longest lines as your inch markers. Okay? Next, what do we have to learn? What's the next biggest after 1 inch? Right? We have our half inches. Okay? Half inch marks. They're the second longest lines on the ruler, half as long as the inch marks. Okay? Each half inch mark will come midway between each inch number line because it's a half inch. All right, that makes sense. This means that marks directly between the 0 and the 1 will be a half inch, 1 and the 2, directly between the 2 and the 3, and so forth. Okay? In total, on a 12 inch ruler, how many half inches are there? 24, right? Because there are twice as many half inches as there are full inches So we just double that number. We double the 12, and there's 24 half inches on this 12-inch ruler. Okay? Next, we need to learn the 1/4 inch marks. Okay? So we have our half inch. We'll go one line smaller, and that's our 1/4 inch. Okay? Halfway in between each half inch line, there's a 1/4 inch. Okay? So we have our 1/4 right here, and we have our 3/4 right there. They're both halfway between the half inch marks. Okay? In the 1st inch, okay, these marks are a 1/4, a half, which is 2/4, 3/4, and then obviously an inch is 4/4. Okay? Although the half inch and 1 inch marks have their own lines, they are still part of the 1/4 inch measurements. Okay, that's important to know, because 2/4 equals half an inch. Okay, there are a total of 48 of these on a 12-inch ruler. Next, what's after the 1/4 inch that we have to learn? It's the 8 inch. Okay, so we have our 1/8 inches here. Similar to what we've been saying, okay? They are halfway between the 1/4 inch marks. Okay, so on this one right here, on 1 inch, we have 1/8, we have a 1/4, which is 2/8, 3/8, a half, which is 4/8, 5/8, 3/4, which is 6/8, 7/8, and then the full inch, which is 8/8. Okay? In total, there are 96 of these on a 12-inch ruler. Okay, so you can see as we go down in increments, as we go from inch to half to 1/4 to 1/8. Okay, the smaller it is, the more there are in the 12-inch in the foot area. Okay. Lastly, okay, we have to learn the 16ths. Okay, and it's the same thing that I've been saying so far. Can you guess where the 16ths are going to line up? Okay, it's halfway between the 1/8 marks. Okay, so we have 1/16, we have an 1/8, which is 2/16, 3/16, a 1/4, which is 4/16, 5/16, 3/8, which is 6/16, okay, 7/16, a half is 8/16, and so on and so forth. Okay, you guys get the rest. All right, and it makes sense when you break it down. When you get smaller, okay, and it's right in between, right in the middle of each one. Okay. Now, your guys' turn. Okay. Your work for today, okay, is a measurement game online. Okay. What I need you guys to do is to record your scores, and the winner will get a prize next class period. And I will show you real quick. Okay, so you'll enter this. Into your Google. Okay, you should get this up on your screen. Okay? So first off, click play. 3 and 15/16. Okay, so you find 3, 15/16, you click it, on target. Right? You have a time limit, okay? 2 and 1/16, right there. Okay? Brilliant. 1 and 11/16. Okay, right there. See, so I missed one. That's one of my strikes. Okay? You keep your score right here. Okay, your time, you have a time limit, you have a strike limit. Okay? The level will increase. Alright? And we can make this longer, okay, or it can be shorter. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. Time runs out. 3 strikes. Game over, right? Okay, so keep track of your score. Okay, and then the winner, I will bring a prize to for next class period. Okay, so as long as we don't have any questions, let's get started on that.